I would like to call Doug Hanson to the podium.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and City Council. Thanks for having me here tonight. I am a volunteer for KCIW, as we all are for the station. My day job, though, is a certified aviation flight instructor that I spend up and down the Pacific Coast and the Pacific Northwest, Northern California. I bring that up because of the pictures that I see behind you. Those pictures really don't do justice to this town from a couple of thousand feet. We need to get some better. They're nice photos, but I'll tell you what, you see it with a blind eye. You see it with your naked eye. It's a pretty impressive little town. What I would also say, though, is that I have a unique perspective in that I see the town on almost a daily basis. And it's a tiny town. It's a small town. The population must be in the mid-6,000s or so. Not much more on the other side of the bridge, but it's a small town. I was raised in an area where town just folded into the next town, which folded into the next town in Southern California. For me to see, just on a daily basis, the size of Brookings, aside from being absolutely beautiful, it is a small town. What is remarkable to me is the overwhelming financial support from the community to keep KCIW on the air. The money that we had to raise through just grassroots efforts really is almost twice what the yearly budget for the station is. And so it was a remarkable amount of money that we had to request and finally get from the city or from the community. I'm also grateful for the City Council. If you would look at the current memorandum of understanding, there's a line that says that you recognize the value of the services that KCIW brings to the city of Brookings. So in that spirit of community support, we are asking for a 90-day extension to the current MOU. Now, the reason why, and I think this is really the crux, this is the linchpin, is the FCC. You mentioned COVID restrictions of the last MOU, and still they go on today. Working, and that's sort of my charter, working with the FCC is a daunting task. It's like working with the FAA. It takes a great deal of effort. I'm almost on a daily basis calling the FCC for approval. Once we get approval for the antenna site, everything is in place. The antenna has arrived, it's been staged, it's ready for installation. The site is prepared, the agreement between the owners and KCIW is in place. The hardware currently that's here on the premises is easily moved and will be done very quickly. We finally have a tower climber who's ready to go. Our third broadcast engineer, and the other two have fallen for sickness, whether it was COVID or something else. We sort of had to scramble and come up with now a third broadcast engineer. So again, we're asking for a 90-day extension, and we hope you'll understand that we'll move as quickly as we can once we get that approval. Everything else is in place, and as I said, the FCC approval is really the linchpin. Thank you. Any questions? No?
No questions for me.
Okay. Thank you all.
Any discussion or question? Any question? Any discussion? No?
We've talked about this quite a bit.
As a matter of fact, I think I started talking about it in 2014 when I signed the first MOU. It's a subject I'm familiar with. How about a motion?
I'll make a motion to deny the request for extension of MOU for KCIW.
I'll second that motion.
A question on the motion. And the motion is to deny. A yes vote would be to deny. Correct?
That's the way I read it.
Correct?
Yes.
All right. Please call the question, Natasha.
Counselor Morosky,
Yes.
Counselor Schreiber,
Yes.
Counselor Alcorn?
Yes.
Counselor McKinney?
Yes.
Mayor Hedenstall?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you. Item number 2